All right, we are here with the client for the Human Relations course, and we'll just get right into it. I'll let you go ahead and just tell me why you're here and what's going on.
Yeah, my name's Sydney. I've been really stressed out. Finals and everything. It just seems like it's all piling up on top of me. And my parents said that if I get put on probation, that they're not going to help me pay for school, and they wouldn't let me bring my car up here, and it's just a whole lot of stuff going on right now, and I'm really overwhelmed right now.
So this is sort of the end of the semester culmination of everything kind of coming down at once, it's a little bit much for you right now.
Oh yeah, it just seems like they're asking for so much,
The professors.
The professors, yeah. We have all these finals over 1 week, and we're expected to know all these things on all these different subjects, and then I have to do a project for this and a paper for that, and then take all these different tests, and it's overwhelming.
Right.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that your parents aren't going to help pay for your school if you get put on academic probation?
Yeah. Yeah, and they said that if I get put on academic probation, that they're going to stop paying for everything, and that they're going to take away all my rent money, so I'm going to have to go get a job. And I already am having trouble with all of my schooling stuff, and so if I have to go to a job, it's going to be even that much harder for me to be able to pay for everything. And it doesn't seem like it's going to be possible.
So do you know the GPA that you have to fall below to go on academic probation at Colorado State?
I don't know. What is it?
It's a 2.0.
A 2.0. Okay.
So I'm going to ask, what is your current GPA?
I've got a 3.1, but the thing is, though, I'm worried I'm going to fail all my classes, and it's going to bring me below all that.
Okay. Well, what grade are you in?
I'm a sophomore.
You're a sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you this. You've been through this before.
Well,
you had midterms and finals as a freshman.
Yeah, but that was different. That was freshman year.
Well,
those were freshman classes.
Well, what do you mean? What do you explain that to me?
Those were like my 100 level. I had music appreciation. I had a drawing class. I had a dance class. It was easy stuff. And now I'm taking a design class and all these other classes that are just they're a little bit more difficult now that I'm a seasoned college student.
Are you still taking the AUCC courses? Are you still in a lot of those courses, or are they more major focused?
I'm in some of them.
Okay.
They're a little bit more major focused.
So last year, when you were preparing for these, the midterms or the finals, did you do anything, or were the class? I find it hard to believe that the classes were so easy last year that you didn't prepare at all.
I studied really hard
for the finals.
Yes, for the finals, and I was pretty stressed then too, but ultimately I got the good grades on them, so it all worked out.
So what's the difference this year?
Well, this year I'm just this year's just different. It just feels like this year it's sophomore year, and so it means a little bit more than freshman year.
Right.
And this is really the first year that they've said that if I get put on academic probation, that it just.
So your parents didn't tell you that your freshman year, that if you went on probation you would lose your, I guess, financial privileges is what we'll call them.
They didn't, because last year I had better grades than I had this year.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess you still have a 3.1 GPA, which that's a solid GPA.
That is true.
It's not like you're a 2.2, and if you were hovering around that 2.0 area, I think that this is a different conversation to have. But I'm not going to add any stress here, but to go from a 3.1 to a 2.0 is a pretty drastic drop. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I think that would, it's very unlikely that that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And so I think it's kind of a culmination of, that's a good thing. I ultimately say that because it's a positive thing to have in your mind, and I think that you're putting a lot of undue pressure on yourself because of what your parents have said.
Yeah.
And so I think you're constantly thinking of this is the worst that's going to happen. And oh my God, what happens if I lose my money? But I think that you got to look at your situation and say, I mean, I'm in a really good spot. I was successful last year. You know, maybe the classes are harder, but you've already done techniques and they've already worked.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. I was in college. I went through finals as well. Like, I understand what that's like. And there's nothing fun about finals week.
Yeah.
You know, but you've already been there and you've done it successfully.
When you were in college, how did you keep from getting stressed out?
I mean, keep from getting stressed out? I don't think that there's...
Or if you did get stressed out, what did you do?
Well, I prioritized. I looked at my schedule and what I had to do, and these are the things that I'm going to struggle the most in, or I need the most work in, so I'm going to put more time and effort into that area. And then the stuff that I felt more confident with, I still studied and I still reviewed, but I knew I didn't need a lot of work in that area. Mm-hmm. And that's what works for me. Does it work for you or any other student? I don't know. I think everybody has to find their own system. But, I mean, I think that you need to look at your schedule and say, this is what I struggle the most in, let's spend the most time on that. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, ultimately, this is a positive thing, and I guess I'm going to maybe challenge you in a way to say that this is kind of maybe all in your head a little bit. You know, I think your parents have made a statement, mm-hmm. a big statement that has big repercussions, and it kind of, made you a little bit anxious. Yeah. But your GPA is it's not a bad GPA, and you've already gone through a year of this stuff and been successful with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're right. I think maybe I am overthinking this a little bit, and maybe I am a little bit too stressed about something that hasn't happened yet and that might be a little bit farther away from happening than I.
Well, what do your finals, I guess, are they projects, are they papers, are they group presentations?
I've got a group choreographed dance that I need to do. I've got a recycled fashion show dress that we have to turn in, and then I've got a paper that I have to turn in as well.
So of that, what do you? I mean, is there anything that is concerning that you're saying this is going to be very hard? I don't know how I'm going to do this.
I think the paper probably, and the choreographed dance.
Is it a research paper?
It is an opinion paper on my thoughts of the folks in Papua New Guinea and what they can do to overcome the economic strife that they have in their area.
So, I guess it's an opinion paper. Mm-hmm. I mean, so that's your opinion. That's a little, you know what I'm saying here?
Yeah,
it's a little bit of, it's different than going out and having to get on, EBSCO database and find a bunch of different sources and do a research paper and cite. And I don't know the details of it, but I mean, ultimately, it's your opinion. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'm sure your teacher set up parameters, but it's what you think.
Yeah.
I mean, have you thought of that?
I guess I didn't really think about that.
Yeah.
I guess when I think paper, I just think paper and maybe not as much. Oh yeah, it's also an opinion versus having to do an actual research.
Right.
Paper.
I think a lot of students think like that. They hear paper and automatically have kind of a negative thought. I think a lot of students hear finals and automatically have a negative thought.
Yeah.
But I mean, really, if you got the dance, the dress, is that the second one, and the paper? I mean, really, in the grand scheme of things, those are three big things. Which, I mean, there's a lot of students out there that are probably doing a lot more. So if you look in the grand scheme of things, it's a pretty light load.
Yeah.
Pretty manageable.
I think I could probably manage it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. When are they due? Tell me when they're due.
All of them are due on Monday.
They're all due on this.
They're all due on Monday.
Holy. Okay. So have you started any of them?
I have not.
Okay. So that's probably something that we're going to want to get going on.
Yeah.
How long does that paper have to be?
It has to be a total of 1,000 words.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So not terribly long, but.
So maybe that's something that you start working on. I mean, you don't have to do it all at once.
Mm-hmm. In the choreographed dance, I mean, we have most of the moves down. I think it's just, practicing and making sure that we have it all, mastered by the class.
Right, right. So it's basically just a practice,
Yeah.
tighten things up sort of
Yeah.
thing. Okay. Are you guys scheduled to meet between now
We
and
are.
Monday?
We are. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I mean, if you look at it, so you got three things: the paper, which you can start whenever, the dance is going to be taken care of, and then the last one. I'm sorry, is the dress.
Yeah, the dress.
You have to explain that one.
Yeah,
to me.
so
I'm not sure what it is.
it's all for the recycled fashion show that we have, and we have to take recycled materials and create a garment out of it. And right now we're using old Doritos Cool Ranch chip bags, and so we just have to go through and eat them, or dump them out or whatever. So it's just a matter of doing that right now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But we have like the outline of the dress, so.
Okay. It's just a matter of putting it together.
Yeah.
So let's step back a second. Let's review this. Okay. You have three major things that's concerning you. All right. The dance is going to be taken care of with the practice.
Yeah.
You have the dress already outlined, just a matter of putting it together. And then the paper is up for you to start.
Yeah.
You have a 3.1 GPA. Getting put on academic probation would be, I don't want to say impossible, but very, very unlikely.
Yeah.
So I think that, to come to a conclusion, there's just a lot of maybe undue pressure that you're putting on yourself.
I think you might be right.
I think it's just kind of this idea of finals are bad. It's time to get nervous.
Yeah.
And when you step back and talk about what you're actually doing, it's really not, it's not that much worse than maybe an average day or an average week of school.
Yeah, when you look at it like that, it definitely takes some of the stress away from it. Yeah.
I think you can handle it. You have a 3.1. You obviously have handled CSU well thus far.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, let me know how you do. Let me see that dress, by the way.
I will.
I've never even heard of anything like that.
It's pretty cool.
All right. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.